Hey y'all, this is Lydia. I'm gonna pull some cards from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck, and at the bottom we have leadership. And immediately what I see on this card is the North Star sort of energy here of guidance, of knowing the point that we feel we're headed toward, where we want to go, and really prioritizing going there and really focusing on where we want to go and focusing on what we want for ourselves, because there's no shortage of chaos in the world, and it's going to ramp up. Fall, the energy is just malefic. The astrology right now is very intense, and it's really pointing very strongly toward all this Scorpio energy on the south node, pulling us out of the past, pulling us out of old deep-seated patterns, and also pulling us out of deep-seated karmic cycles by revealing some hidden truths. And these hidden truths can be, challenging. It can be hard. And we're being reminded too that this is all serving our growth. This is all serving our expansion. And with this, it's a Sussy square yod that's pointing at Scorpio. But on the back end, we do have Uranus in the North Node in Taurus conjunct. And the eclipse we're coming into in a week is building up to that, dealing with us really breaking through on what we want to create for ourselves, what we want to face, what directions we want to face, and what we want to actually strive toward or flow toward or be guided toward. And when we really honor that and we honor where we want to go, and not let circumstances in the world, fool us into thinking we can't, or we're immobile, or we're stuck, or we're trapped, or, there's no point. There is a point. The point is to really get us to face what we want and to really put our hearts in the guidance seat and really allow it to guide us forward and not be so caught up in, the news cycles and consuming information that might really take us out of our magical energy and out of our deep trust that we can manifest what we want for ourselves and we are capable. And there's magic in the air if we want it, but we really have to prioritize that. And I'm getting to, with the Scorpio energy being hammered so hard, it's that whatever's keeping us from being a master in that, being a master in really knowing how to tap into our magic and to tap into our creativity, if there's anything lingering in our subconscious or deep within us that is hindering that, or, is keeping us from our mastery or pulls us out of our magic, we're confronting it now so that we can be stronger in that department, so that we can be more stable through chaos. So let's pull a card or two from the deck and see what it has to say. Protection, which is Scorpio. It is this idea of protecting what you have defined for yourself, protecting what you want for yourself, and not letting anything get in the way, not other people's opinions, not even, if you're seeing other people in the world excelling and you're seeing their process and you're thinking to yourself, why is that not my process? That's comparisonitis, and that's going to take us out of our magic if we go down that road. So we're being called really to be, take responsibility for protecting our manifestations and protecting the directions we feel ourselves going, and not allowing ourselves to be distracted, detracted, or, slowed down in any way by exposing ourselves to things that we can feel aren't meant for us, and we could feel is not serving us, even though there might not be anything particularly wrong with it. It's not serving us. So if you feel that, definitely pull back and recenter, and really honor those practices that recenter you as well. And that goes back to what I was saying about us really mastering, tapping into our magic. What practices will pull you out of, when you go out of your magic, pull you out of that energy and back into your center and back into that energetic space that feels really solid and good and creative and magnetic and attractive. So one more. Gateway. And, we're in between eclipses, which is some serious gateway energy. And this full moon eclipse that we're heading into is dead on Uranus at 16 degrees of Taurus. And that's pretty close to the nodes. The nodes are at 13 degrees right now. So that is a 3-degree orb dealing with expansion, dealing with that Sagittarian, Jupiterian energy of really being in that expansive, boundless energy. And Jupiter is with Neptune. On one hand, it's really challenging. We can definitely be caught up with illusions with that energy. But on the other hand, it's also deep, really potent magic and creativity, and really seeing things happen that can, feel miraculous or actually be miraculous. But we're being called also not to attach to that, but to know it's possible. And to really believe it's possible, Jupiter is I believe. So our beliefs are very important right now. Definitely take responsibility for the belief structures you have and really honor where you're limiting yourself and really prioritize breaking out of those limitations as well. And that 16 degrees is a Pisces rule degree. And that is dealing with also surrendering to what we want to create, surrendering to where we're being pulled. It might be that we think we have to go this way in order to be creative, but the divine is actually showing us how we can be creative in so many other ways, and to really honor that too. So forcing ourselves to go in a certain direction, we will feel the resistance if that's not where we're meant to go. So surrender and allowing a lot of space to be guided is also important right now. Let's pull one more. Change. And allowing change to take place by not attaching to anything at this time and not trying to force fit anything at this time. And a big way to allow change to happen is to allow a lot of space, is to rest, is to allow space for you to not be doing anything in particular also. And this could be actual meditation, but it could just be meditative in the sense of you're allowing yourself to just recharge, regroup, and not be in go 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 right now, but really allowing a lot of space for these energies to work their magic, because there is a lot of magic, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it, because there's all this collective energy that's really chaotic. It's really challenging. It's worrisome if we allow ourselves to go too deep into that. On one hand, it's very important to be aware and it's very important to be informed. On the other hand, there is going too far and allowing it to actually take us out of what's actually important right now in our tangible lives and what we can taste, smell, touch, and feel in our own lives. And that's the truth. And that's how we can ground into the truth, because the news is only a one-sided thing. It's very hard and perhaps even impossible to really do a comprehensive full scope through words in an article. So if we're consuming a lot, we can find ourselves falling into illusions that aren't necessarily helpful or beneficial or serving us. So on one hand, yeah, sure, be informed, but on the other hand, really be honest with yourself if you're going too far into it and it's taking you into an energetic space that's keeping you out of your magnetism, your creativity, your happiness, your joy, and what's present with you now, and perhaps even fooling you into thinking you don't have as much as you really do. We're in a very abundant time, but this abundance isn't old world tangible abundance necessarily. It's energetic, and that's where all manifestations start. So I'm sending love and wishing you well. Bye.